At what age do you think it's advisable for parents not to share bedroom or bed with your kids?
I believe that if you want to maybe stop sleeping with your child, it should be at the age, let's say 1. You can start from 1.
As parents, right?
Yeah.
Is it advisable to show more concern on a particular child than the others?
I wouldn't say it's advisable. What I would say is like it's something that happens, unintentionally. We don't really intend to do that. But with situations around, we find ourselves doing it. Now I'll start with, let's say, the age of the kids. If you have a baby, it's obviously sure that you have to pour more attention, your care, your love on the baby. And the first child who had all that love before, now is finding it that the love has been divided.
Yeah.
And maybe the attention he used to get, he no longer gets it.
I see.
The care he used to get, he no longer gets it that much. So you see, now at that point, you feel like, it looks like I'm pouring more love on my baby compared to my firstborn. Yeah. That's something that always happens. Even me. Sometimes I discover myself like, is this the way I used to be with my first son? But it just happens. You have to explain, like, I have to take off the second son, the second child. I have to change. Maybe the baby cannot eat by himself. If it's a toddler, cannot eat by himself, cannot bathe by himself. Obviously, the care will shift a little bit.
There are some parents that right in front of their kids, they'll say, get up from here. You dirty. You cannot be like your brother. Get up from here. I love this one more than this. Or maybe the other one is smarter than all those things right in front of your kids or the children. And I see that very dangerous for the children or for the kids, because we are trying to protect the mental health of these children. We grew up, how we grew, right? In Africa, our parents, they did not even care about our mental health. And I think that is even one of the reasons we are strong like that. Yeah. But these kids that are born these days, this generation, they have a lot running in their mind, and they watch a lot of videos online and even what they teach them in school. Yeah. So we as parents, I see it very important that we should try as much as we can to protect the mental health of our kids.
Those kind of situations, it's really difficult. It also has to do with the age of the kids.
Yeah.
Maybe their temperament, their behavior. That at some point, kids, as they grow, before, maybe when they were born as toddlers, maybe you discover that they are gentle, they are calm. But as they become teenagers, things begin to change. Their behavior begins to change. And at one point, as parents, no one wants to stay with a child who has maybe a bad behavior. Yeah. So obviously you find it that you don't, just get away. You say it even involuntarily. Let me put it that way.
Yeah.
Even though some people, I don't know their thoughts behind saying that to one child. Is it that maybe, is it their stepchild? Is it maybe someone else's child? Even if it's your child, it's not good. It's not advisable to say that especially in front of the other.
Yeah.
I love this one more than you. You are bringing that child's morale down. At some point, you'll discover that child has low self-esteem. Low self-esteem, very low. Like maybe it might even develop to mental issues.
Yes.
And the one which you're favoring, at some point, he or she can also develop mental issues. Why do I say can develop mental issues? Now, you always say you love that one. At some point, that child will be like, I need to keep up that love. The things I've been doing, I need to continue doing, even if I don't like it. The fact that mom loves me more than my brother or more than my sister, I need to keep up. Yeah. And you see that the child becomes very stressed. What should I do so that mom's love does not change? What should I do so that dad's love should not change? It's not so good to do that. You are bringing hatred amongst your kids. You are bringing them stress without knowing you're bringing them stress. Yes.
Yeah.
You cause a lot of situations that when they grow up, like, are these the kids I had? Meanwhile, you were the cause.
Yeah, majority of these things too, we see our children come back from school, they start complaining of bullying and the rest, and we forget that we are even part of
that.
of the problem. Yeah, you stay at home with the child and he does something, you not even try to correct the child because you have love for that child. We understand some parents, they
do love their kids.
they do love. You can have 3 or 4 children, but your heart is with one.
With one.
Yeah, but I'm not sure if your heart is with one, you're going to like show it publicly. You're going to open it like for the others to see. It's but no matter, you cannot love all of them the same. But I see it very, very, very disturbing and like challenging for the child, for the children to even know that, oh, mom or dad loved me more than this, or like, you understand. Yeah.
What I would like to cut you a little bit there, right? Normally as a mother, you would, or as a father, you kind of love your kids the same, but the kids don't feel it the same.
Yeah.
Why do I say they don't feel it the same? As a first child, the time you came to your parents and the time maybe your younger siblings came to your parents, they had different mentalities.
Yeah.
Like, I will quote a story, right? I used to talk to my mom. The way you used to do with me, things you used to do with me, I see it like you don't do my younger sister.
Yeah.
She said, that's age, my age. So when I came to her, she was still,
Young.
very vibrant. So she could do things agilely but now my younger sister, she calmed down.
Yeah,
So the way a child comes, normally you love the children equally, but they feel like they are not equal because one might be a teenager, one might be a toddler.
Yeah.
So they don't reason the same. They don't have the same behavior. And also another thing might be the preferences or hobbies.
Yeah.
So let's take, for example, you have a son. Your son likes football and you like football.
Yeah.
Obviously, you'll bond more with that child compared to your other children.
Yes, that's true.
If maybe you have a boy, he loves maybe basketball and you love, let's say, fishing. You guys will not really have things to talk about. So you find it like the ones that have the same hobby with you as a parent,
you're going to bond more.
You're going to bond more because you guys have a lot of things to talk about.
To share, yeah.
Yes, that's how it is. So it's not like you don't want to stay with the other one, but just that your hobbies match, your preferences match.
Yeah, but verbalizing your love for one child and not doing that for other, is it really advisable to do that? Like some parents who say, see, you're in front of the kids, you're intelligent more than this. Others will even say, I love you more than this. Others will even go as far as saying that you're more handsome or you're more beautiful than your brother or than your sister. Is it a good idea to do that in front of the kid?
It's not a good idea. What? Or some people say that. I feel like some people say that because they are ignorant.
Yeah.
Some might feel like if I tell my son that his brother is more intelligent, maybe he's going to work hard.
Yeah.
But they don't think of the negative aspect of what they are saying.
Yeah.
So they just feel like, oh, if I tell my son, your brother is more intelligent, maybe he's going to work hard and he's going to also keep up. But not knowing that you're bringing the boy down. Why?
You're bringing the self-esteem of the other
guy.
Yeah.
It's like, then if he goes outside and someone tells him that you're not intelligent, obviously he'll believe.
He'll believe because the mom said...
or some women might be saying it, some mothers, some fathers might be saying it without knowing
the
of the negative implications it has on the child's health. The mental health, to be precise.
Yeah.
So you can just be saying like, I want my child to keep up in a positive sense, but it has a negative impact on the child.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that plays a very vital role. And when the child goes to school as well, like let's say if the child is fond of hearing her mom or her dad saying that you're very dull, your brother is smarter than you, or you're very lazy, your sister is hardworking more than you. All those things that you say in front of the children, know that the child you're hitting that bullet to, when he or she goes goes out, anybody mention that, like you rightly said,
Yes.
the child will just feel like
That's it.
that's him or that's her. You understand?
Yes.
So that is the reason why we are saying, just by saying that, you're killing the morale of the child. Yeah, so I believe that if you have 2 or 3 or 4 kids, if you have a love or you feel different for one and I think it is you just to keep it by yourself.
Yeah.
Yes, it's not even advisable. Even if you're with the child, you don't even need to voice it, because when you voice it, the child might one day even discuss it with the brother or with the sister, that mom once told me this, or dad mom once told me that he loves or she loves me more than you understand. So those are the type of mistakes that we make. What about parents that beat their kid? They'll beat this one for correction. They will not beat this one for correction. Yeah, we have some parents that
some parents
do something
do
like that.
Especially, like, some people say it's good to discipline a guy more than a lady. Let's say maybe a female child more than the male. So they tend like, okay, I have to put more effort in the boy because he might become a rascal, he might become this and that. But with ladies, you have to take your time in talking to them. So the boys might feel like, why is it that mom only hits me and doesn't hit my sister?
The other,
Yeah. But they don't feel like, if you want to discipline a child, if you're setting rules or standards, it should be the same. If you want to talk to them, you can still talk to them.
Yeah.
And things might change. If you want to hit them, you hit them. Both. Don't make it feel like, or if you want to hit them and one person is not there, or if one person is there and always sees it like, why is it that when I do this, mom does not hit me, but mom hits my brother? You are giving that other person, that pushfulness to continue doing it. Even if I do it, mom will never hit me.
Yeah.
And the other one, despite no matter what he does, you'll still hit him. So he's just like, she'll still hit me. It's the same. So why not just continue? I'm already used to. It's very bad. If you want to do it, please do the standard. Keep it standard. You're doing it to one, do it to the other. I know that, yes, maybe the kids might come at the age where maybe you were young, and then the other come when you are maybe old and you don't have that strength. But please try to make it in such a way that it's standard. Try to make it in such a way that they don't feel like they are different. Yeah. Because what you're doing is, it plays a strong role in the bonding of those kids. You discover that those kids, they can't really meet. They become cats and dogs in the same house. Yeah,
because they have discovered that maybe mom or dad loves me more, love this one more than so the love is not rational. It's not equal. Let's talk about screen time. Most of this thing comes as a result of maybe dad will say, okay, you play a lot of game. This one study a lot. That is why you understand. Because of screen time, some kids, they will come out, they want to watch TV morning to evening. Some other want to play game. Why some other will just come very calm. You understand? That's some true. Kids will just like time to study. You see, they'll go and take their books and study. Let's talk about screen time. How long do you think a child should be given for screen? Yeah.
Normally, screen time would depend on the age of the child.
Yeah.
So, like with toddlers, you have to take more time in talking to them than they watch their screen.
Yeah.
With teenagers, obviously, when they get to teenage age, they begin to shift away from you as a parent.
Yes.
So they are more confined, more isolated, especially girls. Some of them are more confined, they find, comfort in their friends and those kind of things. So you put at least there should be study time.
Yeah.
Screen time, I shouldn't say 1 hour, 2 hours, but it all depends on, your family rules.
Yeah.
So for me, my first son is he's 4, turning 5. So I kind of put it like after school, he has 2 hours to watch. Yeah. And after that is study time.
Yeah.
And after study time, dinner time and bedtime.
Bedtime.
Yes. That's just it. Because he is still young. So he needs more grooming. While the teenagers, obviously, you can't really stop them from using their phones.
Yeah.
You can't put like control on them because they will obviously turn it off. But with the thought that he might not know where to go to. So when
Yeah.
it's sleeping time, you just switch it off and it's calm.
That's very important.
Mm-hmm.
So we are talking about screen time, which is like the time that you give the child to watch TV or watch game or play
Mm-hmm.
his or her phone. Now let's talk about, like you mentioned, about bedtime.
Mm-hmm.
At what age do you think is advisable for parents not to share bedroom or bed with your kids?
Nowadays, a lot of people, right, they tend to shift. Like they don't do co-sleeping anymore, but some people do co-sleeping.
Yeah.
Now, if you do co-sleeping, there are pros and there are cons to it. I believe that if you want to maybe stop sleeping with your child, it should be at the age, let's say 1. You can start from 1.
Yeah.
You keep preparing the child.
Yeah.
You keep preparing. You keep increasing the time. Maybe you let him sleep with you for maybe 30 minutes and then goes to his room. You keep trying till he gets used to. Because you cannot just wake up one morning and say, today you are sleeping in your room and that's fine now.
That's fine.
The child cannot do that because he's been dependent on you, sleeping with you. He turns around, you're there, that kind of thing. So at age 1, that would be the best time when the child is, his memory has started, capturing.
Talking about girl and boy, right? There's always this saying that girls are attached to their father, while boys are attached to their mom. So is it advisable to let your son sleep with you as a mother and the girl sleep with the father separate, or how?
No, to me, I feel like, or I believe that both should sleep on their own. So if you have 2 boys, yes, you can put them in a single room when they are still young. Then when they get to adulthood, then you separate them.
Yes.
But not mixing boys and girls in the same room. I wouldn't advise
At any
that.
age.
At any age.
That's so.
Except they are twins, yes. Let's say below 1, below 2, they are still ignorant. But you should make them understand that they are both boys and girls and they cannot sleep in the same room. Each person should have the room if you have the space. That's also if you have the space. So if you don't have a space, then it's good to give them separate beds.
Separate beds
In the same room, but separate beds.
I see.
That would be my advice.
Yeah, that one is also very important. As young parents, we never, knowledge no they ever end. So we learn every day. I myself, I was even thinking that if I have a girl and a boy, I'll put them in the same room and even on the same bed. But now you have at least make things clear.
Yes.
So what do you think, guys? We'll be rounding this episode. What do you think? What are your advice? Is it okay to show concern for one child more than the other in front of the kids? Yeah. Is it okay to do that? Or what screen time do you recommend for your child? Yeah. And lastly, is it okay to sleep or to share bedroom with your kids at some certain age? What do you think? Please, we want to hear from you.